Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out Formula Retro Racing running on Nintendo Switch. Now I know there was a release of Virtual Racing, or a remake of Virtual Racing. So if you like that, if you like that kind of game and those kind of visuals, you know, then this is something that might interest you. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe it sucks. It's hard to say. All right. Oh my god. Here. Not much for options. That's okay though. It is very much in the spirit of Virtual Racing, isn't it? You know, the sound and the graphics. Looks like it's at 60 frames, which is good. Grand Prix. Okay, well, let's see the arcade mode first. Let's see how it handles. Well, got a fair number of them. That's kind of nice. Uses quite a bit of rumble. Let's see if it's a simmy game or an arcade game. It looks like it feels like an arcade game. That's got a pretty good feel to it. Controls nice and smooth, not too jerky so far. That's a nice 60 frames. Feels consistent. And all I have to do is let off the gas, and it seems like it kicks the brakes in as well. So yeah, it handles real easy. Oh, jeez. Yep, got multiple views. Generally, this is my favorite view because you can anticipate turns better. Oh, okay, there's drafting in there as well. That's good. Although Formula 1 cars are, you know, they're awful low to the ground, so you know, the advantage of a course like this, you know, without a lot of hills or anything, that maybe not so great in a Formula 1 game. Yeah, actually, there's a fair bit of geometry too. I'm actually really impressed. Genuinely, you see an indie production like this, you know, make an attempt for a 90s inspired game, and usually, you know, not so hot. Right? You know, you kind of forgive them for being an independent developer, you know, not having a lot of resources or staff. You know, so the standards of an indie game are different in my eyes than with a you know, a majorly backed game from a big publisher. But this is something that I would have expected from a professional, you know, high quality developer. You know, as I crash into something, trying to give somebody a compliment, and I crash right into it. It's like, damn, let me off, game. My goodness, I'm trying to like you. Of course, I played a lot of that Virtual Racing remake. That was really, really excellent. I highly suggest that if folks who like arcade racing games check it out. And so far, I would say the same with this. This is really, really well done. I know I don't normally play racing games, but I do like them quite a bit. Just in the grand scheme of gaming, with so many games to choose from. A racing game is sort of just hard to dedicate time to. Especially since not that many people are interested in watching a racing game being played. Too bad they couldn't have faked a rolling start song. I had friends who hated the cockpit mode when they were playing a racing game, because I just felt like you weren't really moving and that you're just, you know, tilting the world. I'm like, I think that's actually how the world works. I mean, if that's your opinion of the cockpit mode, walking around in real life must really bother you. I really like the handling. This is incredibly well done. I mean, we're playing on easy, so the you know, the enemy is a little brain dead. But I imagine that will be different on under the harder difficulties. But, you know, I think I've had my fill of hard games recently. I think we played nothing but hard games over the last 2 months. I just want to enjoy myself for once. Is that even possible with today's game design? I don't know. At least this, you have an option, you know. If you just want a nice relaxing time, you can play it on easy. If you want to tear your hair out, you can, you know, you can play it on hard or whatever they call it here. You guys might have to forgive me. I actually had to play all the way through this. I know. I'll have like such a huge backlog of games, but I'll always make time for an arcade-style game. Yeah, I'm just raised on that generation of games that were just about, you know, quick, easy play and, you know, stealing little kids' money a quarter at a time. Now we steal everybody's money at $70 at a time, which, you know, I don't know. Not so hot, I don't think. Right now, this is on sale for like $10. I mean, for such a high-quality title, that's a steal. I think it's normally $15. Again, not a lot to ask for, I think. Hey, at least it's not Gran Turismo, you know, where you're paying like $40 a car, or you grind for, you know, 12 weeks to, you know, to get a Honda Accord. Oh geez, I'm not doing as well this time. Yeah, I got a lot of crashes, got a lot of wrecks. I said the analog controllers are actually really good too. Oh jeez, I mean, I'm not a good driver, obviously, but because a lot of times I notice in even racing games for the other consoles, you know, the Xbox and the PlayStation, it seems like the analog tuning on the stick is not so hot. Like, it doesn't give you enough range, or it puts too much bias on like the first 50% of the stick's value. So then you always end up oversteering. This one, I think the range is really good. I think the bias is at the latter 50%. So you can do nice subtle turns. Again, very, very hard for companies to do. Not a lot of people understand you know, how important it is to calibrate for a control stick, since that's the way that most of us will be playing a game. Alright, well, let's check the Grand Prix mode then. Now, this mode is already pretty fun. Oh, looks like you can play with 2 players or 2. Oh, you can play split screen maybe? 4 players, alright. Player 1. Okay, sure. Let's... Oh, well, better put your name in fast. Oh, I hit B. Okay. Thought I wanted to cancel the whole thing. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, is this the Grand Prix meant to be multiplayer? I don't know. Maybe there's no campaign mode since it's an arcade-style game. That would make sense. Oh, it doesn't roll over. Okay. Well, I take back some compliments. You're not rolling over the letter entry? Come on now. Oh, okay, so it is like a... It's not Grand Prix in the sense that it's a tournament mode. It's if you want to play with a bunch of friends and set up like a playlist of games, a playlist of tracks and competition. Okay, cool. That's good stuff too. Eliminator, maintain position, stay in the race. You know, Eliminator, not so hot on that. Sometimes the Eliminator races can be really quick, and then sometimes they can go on forever, depending on how well tuned the AI is. Rolling start. Ooh, okay. Oh, more technical courses. Okay. So it's not totally an arcade game. You got stuff that's a little bit harder. Whoa, gotta really use the brake this time. Damn, pardon me, excuse me. Yeah, the faraway view might be easier in this case. Sometimes the faraway view affects the way the game plays. But I think this one works okay. You know, you usually get like a tighter response in the cockpit mode in a typical racing game, and that's true even for something like Dirt or Grid. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I think it's just easier to see the upcoming turns this way. Oh, jeez. Oh, a bunch of jerks. Acting like you're trying to win or something. Alright, well, a little tiny bit of a frame drop there. Again, easily forgiven. Indie productions, like I said, they get a little more slack. You know, if it's not 100% of 60 frames, it's okay. They actually have a lot of cars on the track too, so you know, they could have just easily have made it like 4 cars, you know, 4 AI players, but they went for the full number of cars. Oh, I have damage. A damage. I wonder how much the damage actually affects you. Doesn't really seem to be playing any different. Maybe it's just how easily you'll car will get destroyed. The more hits it takes. It's not affecting like the handling itself. Wow, oh, vicious. Oh, I've got a lot of ground to cover. I mean, what, 5th? Oh, God, out of my way. Oh, why, thank you for letting me through. I appreciate it. Oh, did it not count my ocean view in? What the heck? Oh, it's because I was 9th. Well, that would explain it then. I'm glad the shifting is done with the buttons instead of like with the stick or something, or with the trigger buttons. That way you have easy access to the gear that you want. Again, that's smart thinking. Like in theory, having like your trigger buttons do your gear shifting is good, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't feel very efficient. Like if you ever have driven a stick, you know that you can, depending on your vehicle, you can, you know, sort of circumvent some gears depending on how your car is handled. So, you know, having to you know, go through every single gear. If you're using trigger buttons, or if they're like assigning it to the right stick or something like that, it doesn't really feel right, and it's not really what you do, especially if you're talking about a high performance vehicle like one of these would be. But just assigning them to the buttons, good idea there. I mean, you already have your you're not using the right stick for anything, so you don't have to worry about using the camera. But yeah, then your hands are free to use the buttons. Make your gear changes. Oh, whoa, jeez. Now the A is not too bad either. I mean, it's not just locked into a pre-written route, which is what I would have expected from a smaller production. I mean, when we played Gear, that's exactly, you know, Gear and Gear 2, that's exactly how it was. Which made for some hilarious replays, but it was sort of frustrating to play. You know, you do want the computer to react a little bit and not just be locked into a route, you know, just like an immovable object. God, this is a much harder track. Well, it is progressively getting more difficult. Oh, God. Every single time. Nose straight into that guardrail. I personally like this era of graphics, you know, the flat shaded polygons. You know, nowadays you can get away with giving them, you know, much more detail. So you know they don't have to look like Virtua Fighter. You know they can look much better than that, while still you know maintaining those nice bold colors of a flat shaded palette. But I know it's not that popular. I mean, of course you'd rather have it look, you know, closer to real life if you can. But you know, at the same time, there's nothing really wrong with the way this looks. I didn't drive head first into that guardrail for once. My goodness. Of course, I'm in 7th place. I'm not exactly doing well. It's nice to see that easy isn't cakewalk, you know? I mean, you still have to concentrate and do well. Which obviously I'm not doing. I like that they don't just give you 3 tracks. It's like, you know, get good, or else you can't see more than 3 tracks. This is a good selection, you know, because you may get tired of trying to grind away at the same track over and over again if you're not doing well. So being able to see some of the tracks is good. Again, I have nothing but good things to say so far. I mean, this is a very well-made title. And to think, I almost skipped out on it. I was like, oh no, it's another team of another team of people, you know, trying to make a retro game, and you know, almost always fails. Whoa, okay, yeah, but in this case, no, it's definitely not a failure. The only bad thing about the retro scene is that you know, you get folks that you know, maybe weren't around during the retro scene, but you know, appreciate the retro style graphics, or you get folks that that are like a little bit too dedicated to the retro style gameplay, and then they copy all the faults and the flaws of retro gaming. It's like, well, yeah. I'm glad you are dedicated to retro games, but you know, we didn't like those design choices back then when these games were new, and we still don't like them now. I know, it's like, how challenging could turning left be? Don't get too excited, NASCAR, folks. It's not as challenging as the other courses, alright? It's nice you can see all the way out there. Which is how it was in the arcades, you know, when, well, actually, Virtua Racing had some pop-in. It's kind of interesting to go back to that game. I mean, not the remake. The remake actually draws everything out really crisp and smooth. But the original, yeah, it had a fair amount of pop-in. Just when you're sitting in that gigantic cabinet, you know, you tend to ignore all the finer detail. It's nice to see I'm consistent. I can't seem to buy a bucket sometimes. And other times it seems easy. Oh, dessert! I love dessert. I don't know what it has to do with racing, but I wouldn't mind dessert right now. Rolling start. No, I can't hit that note. It's a very unusual note. Not a whole lot of songs out there would make you hit that kind of note, and especially saying those kind of words. And my singing voice is generally tends to get shot during the spring. Allergies kill me. You power through it though. You practice every day. If you don't practice every day, you lose control over your voice. Ah. But you can't practice too much, or else you strain your vocal cords. Oh, come on. No, you guys try to make me nervous. Speaking of which, I think I totally forgot that Gears Legend or Grid Legends came out. I mean, it came out right. I think it came out on the same day as Elden Ring. I was like, damn, that really sucks. I mean, nobody really knew how well that game would do. You know, people were just hopeful that it would do well. You know, then it did exceed expectations, but I think people need to put the brakes on a little bit. Because while it did sell, you know, a few million, it's, you know, certainly not in the realm of like a Madden or a Call of Duty. It's not quite at that level. I don't know how much they spent on it either, so it's really hard to say, you know, how much profit they made. I mean, I hope it makes a good amount of money. From Software's been in the business for a long time. It's nice to have them have a bona fide success. You know, although Dark Souls 3 was successful too, so you know, don't want to undersell them at all. I think Sekiro did pretty well too, if I remember right. No, come on. That's nice, you gotta really fight for your positions. Again, you know, it's easy, but it's not too easy. Nice scenery to look at, nice and colorful. Like I said, I missed this era of gaming. A little frame pacing there. I don't know if the frame rate actually dropped, but yeah, it didn't quite draw the frames in time with the refresh, so it's a little jerky there. But mostly smooth. Oh, yeah. I know. I wish people did like to watch racing games, and not just like the hardcore games, like Ride 4, which is a pretty good game, but it's a very, very hardcore bike sim. You know, I couldn't play that for a very long time, mainly because I'm not that technical as far as motorcycles go, and you have to kind of know a bike inside and out to play that game. Alright, well, I clearly have some practicing to do, but I think I'm going to have a good time doing it. This is audap, and you've been watching Formula Retro Racing running on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, if you like arcade racing games, you don't mind the flat shaded polygons, you know, you liked the Virtual Racing remake that they did recently. Definitely check this out. This is really, really well done. Handles great. The sound is very inspired by that era of arcade game. Obviously, the music isn't quite as good as that, but it's still pretty good. The sound is pretty good as well, and it's at a really good price. So definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.